everybody, welcome to this week's Q&A.
Where we answer your questions and say hey to everyone in the Squaresville community.
So are you guys ready? Hey, let's Q&A!
So for today's Q&A, we took some questions from you guys from the hangout that we just had with you.
Our first question comes from Exploding Anyway. How do you feel about portraying a queer character, and did it have any impact on how you played her when you found out? I'm excited to be able to play, Esther questioning her sexuality and coming out. As for it being impacting, yes, it informed all of my decisions, but my whole thing was I didn't want her to be stereotypical or a cliche, and that is just one part of the many parts of her. So while it did inform some things, like in Cougarville or Percy's new friend, it's not like, oh my gosh, she's a lesbian. So that's, for me, that's just one part of her. During tonight's hangout, we actually did some voiceover for an upcoming episode.
Take two.
Okay. It's been 8 light months since S went missing. Kong12345 asks, are recordings usually this informal? How long do you typically have scripts before you need to perform them? Well, with something like that you just need a couple lines for a voiceover for an episode, I usually just read it off the page. I actually am neighbors with Matt, so he's like, hey, MK, come over here and read this for me, we need it for an episode. Which, is not always how it goes. When you're actually about to shoot an episode, you usually get your scripts way in advance. Voiceover is really fun because it keeps you on your toes, because you're oftentimes having to go back to a place that you haven't been in for a long time. You have to put yourself back in the mindset that you were in on set, which might have been months ago. So it kind of is a fun little exercise to see if you can get it right, I guess.
Hannah Joy 71 asks, are you more scared by the internet or excited by it?
Well, both, because when people are able to be anonymous, sometimes they say things to you that they wouldn't say to your face, and that's kind of weird. But the internet is also awesome.
Yeah, like for example, you can connect with people in ways that you wouldn't have been able to before, and seeing all of the great fan art and getting able to interact with our awesome fans, like it makes it worthwhile. But I will agree, sometimes the internet can get a little shady.
Don't give out your personal info.
Yeah, don't do that, kids.
You guys are forgetting we wouldn't be able to make Squaresville without the internet.
No.
Oh,
whatever.
For real.
Whatever.
No one would have given me a TV show.
Well, I'm glad they give you an internet.
Yay!
Yeah. I gave myself an internet show.
Oh.
Well, you guys kind of did, because it was
You're welcome.
Yeah,
like
you're welcome.
like you guys and like
Your internet
your
show.
like
Yeah.
parents and stuff, basically.
This
Yeah.
is going way far back.
Yeah.
But see, the funny thing is that all the girls watching the show are like, I like you, Percy.
Yeah, they're like, we love you, Percy. I knew dudes like Percy, and girls were mostly looking at jocks and quarterbacks and things like that. The cool, handsome bro guys.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I didn't have like a Percy friend in high school. But yeah, I feel like for the most part, girls were all about the handsome dudes. So I think Percy's Percy's feelings of,
Being wanted
yeah, not feeling sufficient or whatever, probably very real.
and justified.
Something that I'm not a guy, but I feel like that's something everybody can relate to.
I think Percy is the type of person who, in high school, you feel very like, you don't feel like you're being acknowledged and accepted, but in college and post-college, he'll be one of those people that like create something like Tumblr, or is like really acknowledged and people love him and everything. So he's definitely one of those. For him, it's gonna be a marathon, but he's really chill, so
He's gonna be all right.
he'll be good.
Last week's episode, Percy's Tattoo, was one that we actually shot 2.5 years ago, and it was one of the very first things we ever shot together, and we knew each other, but we didn't really know Austin, and we were quite a bit older than him, and so we were kind of like, who is this teenager that's our friend? And he was so funny and unique, and I think that was really an episode that like shooting that episode together really like solidified kind of our
Trio.
Yeah, like our on-set relationship as well as our characters' relationship, and yeah, it was a really cool thing to experience and then to see grow into what it's become.
hardcore.
Well, that's it for us this week on this Q&A. Thanks for asking great questions. Hope you enjoyed our answers.
Be sure to fight the robots by liking and sharing this episode, and be sure to stay square.
Stay square.
Hey guys, welcome to today's Q&A.
Squaresville's community show, and today
we have a bang competition. Get it?
we've got bangs.
We all have bangs.
We all have bangs.